Hey ladies and gents, welcome to Car Nonsense. This is me, Nate, here to talk about the Nissan Z, or Z. This is the brand new car from Nissan. Is this going to be enough? Or is this, like Top Gear stated it to be, the Nissan Z is a disappointment dressed in a manual gearbox and V6 disguise? Yes, that's right. We're going to be taking a look at a Top Gear article and basically just giving my thoughts and opinions on this car. I myself have owned a Nissan 350Z or Z, and I now currently own a 370Z and several other Nissan cars. And this was a car that I was hugely excited for, and I've long said I was never going to sell my 370Z unless I could get this car. Turns out I can't get this car because they're not releasing it in the UK. Nissan gave a big old to anyone in the UK and Europe. We don't get this car. However, that actually doesn't stop my excitement for it. I still think this is a beautiful car. And I actually hated it when I first saw it because of the weird front end grille thing. But then it's actually grown on me over time. I've seen it now more and more in videos and things, and I've just gone, this is a great looking car. And it's not just that, right? It's not just the exterior. They've done such a great thing with the interior. And I think this is important to take a look at, right? This is a 370Z interior. It is, but it has been remodeled. And I'm really confused when I look at the likes of this opinion piece by Top Gear, which we'll go into, because I don't know what they were expecting. It's almost like they wanted this to not be a sports car with, you know, a gasoline engine. It's looking like they absolutely just wanted, electric power. But I look at this image here, and I look at the interior of this car, and I go, this is it. I want to sit in this car, right? Now, if you've ever sat in a Z car from Nissan, you know that they are a driver's car. Through and through, they are unequivocally a driver's car. They are designed for the driver. Passenger, they don't actually care about. They couldn't care less. Everything is angled towards the driver. Everything, even down to the center console and the transmission tunnel, it separates you from the passenger, and everything becomes much more involved with you as the driver alone. And this is just so nicely done. And yes, 100%, I own it. You can see the 370Z nature running through there. You can. But what else have they done? Well, you've got a huge 12-inch digital dash there for the driver. You've got analog gauges, boost, pressure, etc. You've got a 9-inch infotainment display. And you've got the 6-speed transmission. Now, everything's been redone. The dash has been remolded. Everything has been remade. You've got what looks to be actually the same seats, but retrimmed. And the seats in the Z, the 370Z, again, if anyone has sat in them, they are very comfortable. They're very comfortable car seats. To say that that's a bad thing is moronic. Nissan knows how to make car seats, and the 370Z car seats are epic. If you didn't know, here on this channel, we build cars, right? These videos are not normal for us here, but I wanted to chime in. And if you like this video, by the way, do hit that thumbs up button and do hit subscribe for more like this. Let me know if you want more opinion pieces like this. But to say, I've got basically the car seats are so good. I've got a old Datsun pickup truck. I've bought 370Z seats very specifically to then go into that Datsun truck because they are so bloody comfortable. Like, I'm a relatively wide guy, but the bolstering is perfect. It's so nicely done. And then that brings me on to this article, right? This article from Top Gear. And it's just, I just don't get it. I don't get what they were expecting when they were, writing this. And we'll go through it. This isn't just me sat here talking. I want to kind of go through this article and get your thoughts and opinions on it. But you read the title there, opinion. The Nissan Z is a disappointment dressed in a manual gearbox and V6 disguise. And you'll see what I mean. Again, this is a beautiful car. I will say one of the major things, again, to be objective, that has actually disappointed me about the concepts, I guess, the Proto Z to the production ready Z. They seem to have whacked the same Akibono brakes on from the 370Z. Whereas on the Proto Z, the brakes looked much bigger. They actually looked like R35 brakes. Now, the 370Z brakes, the Akibonos, are actually really good. It stops. It has very good brake power. You chuck in new pads, like you would anyway on a sports car. You chuck in new pads and you put new rotors on it. Those brakes, solid. Still, would have been nice to get a bit of an upgrade. But here, let's just go into it, right? Because it absolutely shocked me. And this is what I mean. I don't quite know what this guy was wanting with this car. Because he's basically saying it's the same car. It's not the same car as the 370Z. Because yes, it's built on the chassis and the platform. Well, it's built on the chassis of a 370Z, right? That is a 370Z chassis. New panels and things like that, but it is a 370Z chassis. But it's going to handle completely different. It's got a twin-turbo V6. A twin-turbo V6. It's going to be completely different handling. The way it accelerates, the way it goes through corners, everything will be different because they would have also done some, you sort of underside rigidity and things like that. But the fact it's got a new engine in it, yeah, no, that's going to be a very different beast. A very different beast. Now, he lists here and he says, basically, I did this, I did that, I went to go see it before and it's been disappointing me ever since and now I can tell you why. Now he says, I was immediately conflicted. Yes, in a wave of electric powertrains, it was good news for fans of naturally aspirated engines and manuals. Well, first things first, mate, it's not a naturally aspirated car. What are you talking about? People like us, but after so much fanfare and expectation, I was ready for more. This had been campaigning a lot about e-power and its EV future. So I was braced and excited to see a radical new Z. So basically you wanted it to be EV powered. Why? Especially when you're sat here going naturally aspirated engines and manuals. I just don't get it. But it didn't arrive. What we got was the old 350Z formula in some faded retro lipstick and cheap makeup. That doesn't look anything like a 350Z. What are you talking about? After all these years of hype, the new one isn't radical at all. It's a similar shape, when our brain now defaults to the more appealing Jaguar F-Type as the past, and there's nothing truly new. But is that necessarily a bad thing? And that's what I ask you guys. Is that necessarily a bad thing that there isn't anything majorly new with it? They haven't changed the shape that much ever since the 240Z. Why? Because it's a beautiful car. Some shapes are timeless. They really are. Some shapes are absolutely timeless. Now it says here, so given there's nothing original on it, why wait so long? I mean, it is original. You can say that, there's no original engine, right? It's taken from an Infiniti. You could say that there's no original chassis. But the two and two combined, non-original items, creates a new original car, doesn't it? Because it's going to handle completely differently. The car is theoretically already over 10 years old and its predecessor needed a replacement yonks ago when momentum was behind it. Nothing I saw at this exclusive sneak peek into a time-travelling Z replacement couldn't have come out years before. And I do agree. The engine has been Nissan's family tree since Infiniti was a wee nipper, and the interior doesn't push the envelope, and the gearbox is as old as driving itself. The gearbox, actually, on that Z car is really good. It's a Jatco source gearbox, which Nissan part own. They're very good gearboxes. They're strong. They're really strong. You're not going to look at getting like a bloody 2JZ gear, well, I don't know what the gearbox goes to a 2JZ, but obviously, you're not going to be looking to get those kind of things anymore. So you hold on to the ones which are really, really decent. Or do you want it to be a ZF transmission? Like, what do you want? What do you want in here? It's so strange. But then again, it looks like he just wants EVs. So here's my theory. It was a program rush through, having dropped the ball on making EVs cool. Nissan has been very busy trying to rectify it. Part of this speculation was there will be performance variants of the home of the GTR, especially as it announced the four-wheel drive Leaf on T37s, but they fired blank after blank, so its engineers had to knock something out quick, something like the Z. It's an easy marketing win where you rely on looking in the rear-view mirror of heritage rather than what's in front. It's frustratingly obvious that the Z hasn't had any money or love invested into it, like other Nissan cars, or cars like the Ariya, the cars that make money. I think it looks beautiful. But again, he keeps comparing it to the Ariya or Ariya. On the same day I saw the Z, I also saw an interior buck of the production-ready Ariya concept. It was leagues above any aspect of the reskin Z. But the reskin Z does have to pay homage to an older car for fans to like it. Again, it has been reskinned. I mean, what's wrong with it being reskinned? I don't get it. But then he goes here, you know, so ultimately the new Z it just feels like a facelift with a retro nod, not a new car. And with Nissan still lacking a sporting EV, it feels like an opportunity missed, in my opinion. He just wants an EV car. Just wants an EV. I don't get it. You know, and then he goes here, you know, maybe the tech just isn't there yet, but the Taycan has proved performance is possible, but maybe not in an affordable sports car package, as Tesla's yet to be seen roadster test. Still, so we are still waiting on the first true alternative fuel sports car, and the next GTR seems even further away now. So I wanted to do this video because it really shocked me to see someone looking at this car and going, oh, how boring. Great for naturally aspirated fans, even though it's turbocharged, but it's just a reskinned car and I wanted an EV. And I'm like, oh yeah, the interior is so crap. Like, it's such a bad interior. Have you ever been in a Japanese car before? Have you ever been in a Japanese car? These cars are great. That's a great looking Japanese car, because most of them look horrendous inside. That's a good looking Jap car. So what are my thoughts on the 400Z? Can this save Nissan or Nissan? I actually think no, it can't, sadly, because it's not being released in enough markets. I don't know what you're doing, Nissan. Why aren't you releasing it in the UK? We have a great sports car market in the UK, although people keep saying that we don't. Most cars, like, yeah, German cars own that space, but that's because they got good financing deals in the UK, and they just flood the market with them. But people want those high-powered German cars. So if Nissan did a good job with something similar to that, I don't see why, you know, you can then not release this as well. You know, I've seen a Supra on the road the other day. Like, you do see these cars around. Admittedly, you don't see many 370Zs on the road. Like, whenever I drive my car, I never really see any others. But I still think they've done a really great job with this car. It won't save them, but they have done a great job. Is it just a reskinned 370Z? No, because it's not. You know, it's the same chassis, ultimately, but you've put a twin-turboed engine in it. It's going to be completely different as a result of that. You're smashing two already prevalent items together to create something new. I don't see what the issue is with that at all. I think they've done a really good job with this car. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. I genuinely love to hear it. Did you know that it's not coming to the UK or Europe? Let me know down below. Attest your disappointment in the comments. Cheers, guys. Take care.